Hello everyone. Today is December 9, 2017, and it's been a while since I've made a video. I've been compelled to do a reading today where I'm going to take a portion of the book of Enoch and I'm going to intermingle it with part of the book of Noah, which is a very interesting read, and I think that it's probably one of my favorites regarding kind of an ancient prophecy that I think we're in the midst of seeing fulfilled at the time. And this is also going to get into some of the history of the fallen angels. It relates to what some people may believe in modern times is the banking cartel, more or less, some of the remnants of that, and also some of the darkness that we have currently on the planet. So I'm just going to start reading this out loud. I'm going to take the first 6 chapters of the book of Enoch, and then I'm going to put in the fragment from the book of Noah. And so when you do that, you get a very interesting story that kind of explains, kind of how some of these things came to pass. And then I'm going to go back and throw some images over this as I read when I edit it to show you some of the things that have been hidden from us from the Smithsonian, some of the artifacts that kind of tie this all together and paint a picture. So this should be interesting. Here we go. Okay, the book of Enoch, chapter 1. The words of the blessing of Enoch, wherewith he blessed the elect and righteous, who will be living in the day of tribulation, when all the wicked and godless are to be removed. And he took up his parable, and said, Enoch, a righteous man, whose eyes were opened by God, saw the vision of the Holy One in the heavens, which the angel showed me. And from them I heard everything, and from them I understood as I saw, but not for this generation, but a remote one which is for to come. Concerning the elect I said, and I took up my parable concerning them. The Holy Great One will come forth from his dwelling, and the eternal God will tread upon the earth, even on Mount Sinai, and appear from his camp, and appear from the strength of his might, from the heaven of the heavens. And all shall be smitten with fear, and the watchers shall quake, and the great fear and trembling shall seize them unto the ends of the earth. And the high mountains shall be shaken, and the high hills shall be made low, and shall melt like wax before the flame. And the earth shall be wholly rent in sunder, and all that is upon the earth shall perish. And there shall be a judgment upon all men. But with the righteous he will make peace, and will protect the elect, and mercy shall come upon thee. And they shall all belong to God, and they shall be prospered, and they shall all be blessed. And he will help them all, and light shall appear unto them, and he will make peace with them. And behold, he cometh with 10,000s of his holy ones to execute judgment upon all, and to destroy all the ungodly, and to convict all flesh of all the works of their ungodliness, which they have ungodly committed, and all of the hard things which ungodly sinners have spoken against him. Chapter 2. Observe ye that takes the place in the heaven, how they do not change their orbits, and the luminaries which are in the heaven, how they all rise and set in order each season, and transgress not against their appointed order. Behold ye the earth, and give heed to the things which take place upon it from first to last, how steadfast they are, how none of the things upon earth change, but all the works of God appear to you. Behold, the summer and the winter, how the whole earth is filled with water and clouds and dew, and rain lie upon it. Chapter 3. Observe and see how in the winter all the trees seem as though they have withered and shed all their leaves, except the 14 trees which do not lose their foliage, but retain the old foliage from 2 to 3 years till the new comes. Chapter 4. And again, observe ye the days of summer, how the sun is above the earth over against it, and you will seek shade and shelter by reason of heat of the sun, and the earth also burns with growing heat, and so you cannot tread on the earth or on a rock by reason of its heat. Chapter 5. Observe ye how the trees cover themselves with leaves and bear fruit. Wherefore give ye heed, and know with regard to all his works, and recognize how he that liveth forever hath made them so. And all his works go on thus from year to year forever, and all the tasks which they accomplish for him, and their tasks change not, but according to God hath ordained it, so it is done. And behold how the sea and the rivers in the manner accomplished, and change not their tasks from his commandments. But ye have not been steadfast, nor done the commandments of the Lord. But ye have turned away and spoken proud and hard words with your impure mouths against his greatness. And ye hard-hearted, ye shall find no peace. Therefore shall ye excrete your days, and the years of your life shall perish, and the years of your destruction shall be multiplied in eternal execration, and ye shall find no mercy. In those days ye shall make your names an eternal execration unto all the righteous, and by you shall all who curse, and all the sinners and godless shall imprecate by you, and for you the godless there shall be a curse, and all the shall rejoice, and there shall be forgiveness of sins, and every mercy and peace and forbearance. There shall be salvation unto them, a goodly light. And for all you sinners there shall be no salvation, but on you all shall abide a curse. But for the elect there shall be light and joy and peace, and they shall inherit the earth. And then there shall be bestowed upon the elect wisdom, and they shall all live and never sin, and even through ungodliness or through pride. But they who are wise shall be humble, and they shall not again transgress, nor shall they sin all the days of their life, nor shall they die of divine anger or wrath. But they shall complete the number of days of their lives, and their lives shall be increased in peace, and the years of their joy shall be multiplied in eternal gladness and peace all the days of their life. Chapter 6. And it shall come to pass, when the children of men have multiplied, that in those days were born unto them beautiful and comely daughters. And the angels, the children of heaven, saw and lusted after them, and said to one another, Come, let us choose wives among the children of men, and beget us children. And Semjaza, who was their leader, said unto them, I fear ye will not indeed agree to do this deed, and I shall have to pay the penalty of a great sin. And they all answered him and said, Let us swear an oath, and all bind ourselves by mutual imprecations not to abandon this plan, but to do this thing. They swear all together and bound themselves by mutual imprecations upon it. And they were in all them 200 who descended in the days of Jared on the summit of Mount Hermon, and they called it Mount Hermon because they had sworn and bound themselves by mutual imprecations upon it. And these are the names of their leaders: Semjaza, their leader, Akribah, Ramiel, Kobiabel, Tamiel, Ramiel, Daniel, Ezekiel, Berejakel, Azael, Armatos, Batarel, Anarel, Zachiel, Sampiel, Satriel, Turel, Jomajel, Sarjel. These are their chiefs of 10. Okay, so what we started off with was we're going to take a little pause here before we get into the book of Noah, which is kind of the fun part. So we're kind of explaining here, Enoch's explaining to us that in the future he sees a great judgment to come upon the earth when the sons of man have multiplied, and there are many of us, and there's going to be essentially God's chosen ones are going to come down and essentially liberate the planets, more or less. That's the interpretation I take from it. So what we start to get into in chapter 6 here is the explanation of the fallen angels and who came here and did what. Okay? So as you may know, there's been a lot of cover-ups going on that have to do with giant skeletons on this planet for a long time. And so this is a possible explanation of why right here we're going to start to get into. It kind of fills in a big piece of the puzzle. So without any further ado, I bring you the book of Noah, the fragments of the book of Noah. And it will come to pass in these days that the chosen and holy children will come down from the high heavens, and their offspring will become one with the sons of men. In those days Enoch received books of indignation and anger, and books of tumult and confusion. Chapter 2, fragment from Enoch 7. And they took wives for themselves, and everyone chose for himself one each. And they began to go into them, and they were promiscuous with them. And they taught them the charms and spells, and they showed them the cutting of roots and trees. And they became pregnant and bore large giants, and their height was 3,000 cubits. They devoured the toil of men, until men were unable to sustain them, and that the giants turned against them in order to devour men. And they began to sin against birds, and against animals, and against reptiles, and against fish, and they devoured one another's flesh, and drank the blood from it. What does that sound like? Then the earth complained about the lawless ones. Chapter 3. And Azazel taught the men to make swords and daggers and shields and breastplates, and showed them the things after these, and the art of making them, bracelets and ornaments, and the art of making the eyes and beautifying the eyelids, and the most precious stones, and all kinds of colored dyes. And the world was changed. And there was a great impiety and much fornication, and they went astray, and all their ways became corrupt. Amzarzak taught all those who cast spells and cut roots, Amoros, the release of spells, and Barakel, astrologers, and Kobakel, potions, and Tamadel taught astrology, and Azradel taught the path to the moon. And at the destruction of men they cried out, and their voices reached heaven. Chapter 4. And then Michael, Gabriel, Suriel, and Uriel looked down from the heaven and saw the mass of blood that was being shed on the earth, and all the iniquity that was being done to the earth. And then he said to one another, Let the devastated earth cry out with the sound of their cries up to the gate of heaven. And now to you, O holy ones of heaven, the souls of men complain, saying, Bring our complaint before the Most High. And then said to their Lord, the King, Lord of lords, God of gods, King of kings, your glorious throne endures all the generations of the world, and blessed and praised. You have made everything, and power over everything is yours, and everything is uncovered and open in front of you, and you see everything, and there is nothing that can be hidden from you. Then see what Azazel has done, how he has taught the iniquity of the earth, and revealed the internal secrets that are made in heaven. And Semyaza has made known spells, he to whom you have gave authority to rule over those who are with him. And they went into the daughters of men together, lay with those women, became unclean, and revealed to them these sins. And the women bore giants, and thereby the whole earth has been filled with blood and iniquity. I need to learn that word better. And now, behold, the souls which have died cry out and complain unto the gate of heaven, and their lament has ascended, and they cannot go out in the face of iniquity which is being committed on the earth. And you know everything before it happens, and you know this, and what concerns each of them, but you say nothing to us. What ought we do with them about this? Chapter 5. And then said the Most High, the Great One and Holy One, spoke and sent Azyair, the son of Lamech, and said to him, Say to him my name, hide yourself, and reveal to him end, which is coming, because the whole earth will be destroyed. A deluge is about to come on all the earth, and all that is in it will be destroyed. So here we go, talking about the flood. Backstory. And now teach him, so that he may escape, and his offspring may survive for the whole earth. And further the Lord said to Raphael, Bind Azazel by his hands and feet, and throw him into the darkness, and split open the desert which is in Duadel, and throw him in there. And throw on him jagged and sharp stones, and cover him with darkness, and let him stay there forever, and cover his face, so that he may not see the light. And so that on the great day of judgment he may be hurled into the fire. And restore the earth which the angels have ruined, and announce the restoration of earth. For I shall restore the earth, so that not all the sons of men shall be destroyed because of the knowledge which the watchers have made known and taught their sons. And the whole earth has been ruined by the teachings of the works of Azazel, and against him write all sin. And the Lord said to Gabriel, Proceed against the bastards and the reprobates, and against the sons of the fornicators, and destroy the sons of the fornicators and the sons of the watchers from amongst men. and send them out, and send them against one another, and let them destroy themselves in battle, for they will not have length of days. And then will petition you, but the petitioners will gain nothing in respect of them, and they will hope for eternal life, and that each of them will live the life of 500 years. And the Lord said to Michael, Go, inform Semyaza and others with him who have associated with the women to corrupt themselves with them in all their uncleanness. When the sons kill each other, and when they see the destruction of loved ones, bind them for 70 generations under the hills of earth, until the day of their judgment and of their consummation, until the judgment for which is all eternity is accomplished. And in those days they will lead them to the abyss of fire in torment, and in prison they will be shut up for all eternity. And then Semyaza will be burnt, and from them on destroyed with them. Together they will be bound until the end of all generations. Destroy all the souls of lust and the sons of the watchers, for they have wronged men. Destroy all wrong from the face of the earth, and every evil work will cease. And now all the righteous will be humble, and will all live together until they beget thousands. And all the days of their youth and their Sabbaths they will fulfill in peace. And in those days the whole earth will be tilted in righteousness, and all of it will be planted with trees, and it will be filled with blessing. And all the pleasant trees they will plant on it, and they will plant on it vines, and the vine that is planted on it will produce fruit in abundance, and every seed that is sown on it, each measure will produce 1,000, and each measure of olives will produce 10 baths of oil. And you cleanse the earth from all wrong, and all antiquity, and from all sin, and from all impiety, and all the uncleanliness which is brought about the earth. And the sons of men shall be righteous, and the nations shall serve and bless me, and shall worship me. And the earth will be cleansed of all corruption, from all sin, and from all wrath, from all torment, and I will not again send a flood upon it for generations forever. Chapter 6. And in those days I will open the storehouses of blessing which are in heaven, so that I may send them down upon the earth, upon the work and upon the toil of the sons of men. Peace and truth will be united for all the days of eternity and all the generations of eternity.